What a glorious day. Oh, look at the time, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's actually 1302, but I see it as 1, 2, 3, 4. Like, come on, 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 come on. So my name is Bridgitte. I am an intuitive energy healer. I come today to do some free live readings for you guys and to help with some guidance, supports, to create some awareness where you may not have any. Awareness is the beginning of change. Awareness creates change. Once we see something, we can't unsee it. So it brings many insights into ourselves when you're able to see. Sometimes we're not ready to see at the time that we're being shown, but seeds are planted. And from them seeds being planted, at some point, they will start to grow. when sun gets put on them, when nurture starts being put onto them, they do start growing. So, my readings are generally around resistance. They're not generally, they are around resistance. They are around what stops us from being able to achieve all that we desire. Everything that we go after or we avoid going after because we're in resistance. So resistance can be from limiting beliefs about self, limiting beliefs about your world, limiting beliefs that you've held on to and that are stopping you from being able to fulfill your dreams, to be able to broaden your perspectives, because you're always looking from one focus point. Whereas it's a bit like, as humans, we could, a lot of humans actually, a lot of people have a tendency as they're walking, they look down. I have something in me that is like, don't look down. Because you look down, you're seeing a limitation. We cannot see beyond the concrete. We're not seeing all the roots of the trees, all the roots of the flowers. We're seeing a limitation. But when you look up, it's so expansive. There's so much space. It just doesn't stop. It is where's the word? It's infinite. It doesn't stop. So many of us, we have a habit in general day life of looking down. We are in this world of limitations, of being in a box, of being in a place that we're not able to see beyond that. But if we're looking from an advantage point, we see everything. And that's what I love helping with, being able to see from a different viewpoint so that we're able to grow from that new viewpoint. Hey Maria, how are you doing? My butt is so beautiful because you can see it, Maria, yeah? Oh, not Maria, sorry, not Maria. Malak. Oh, let's hide it. We don't need to see that message. We'll hide that message. It will be between you and me, Malak. All right, so what I use for my readings, I generally, I'm just a very intuitive person. I love using my intuition. I love using whatever it is around me to be able to read. Hey Flower Beauty Peacock Rainbow, how are you doing? Hey Jimbo, hey Renzel, hey Cho. So I use a variety of different tools for my readings. Thank you, Renzel. I responded as a joke. It's like, yeah, malak. So I use a variety of different tools. I generally love using my intuition just as it is, because I mean, the universe speaks to us in the most beautiful ways, from the most oddest of things, and I love that about intuition and how we are exposed to messages, because that's one of the most beautiful things. One of the most beautiful things about intuition and about the connection with source, being able to receive it in whichever way we're open to, really. Do I love Lebanon? Why not? I love everywhere. I love everywhere. My passion is to explore every country on earth. Every country. No limitations. Every country. I am somebody that enjoys different cultures, different ideas, different foods, different people, I enjoy things like that. So, yeah, I don't know a lot about Lebanon, but why not? Why not? Bye, Renzel. All right, so I use a variety of tools. One of the tools that I use, oh look, 2 5s come up. Isn't that interesting? Is 2 different decks of cards. I am not Indian. If you're asking a question, ask the question. Yeah. I use a variety of different cards. I use 2 decks of standard cards. The reason I use 2 is because if you look, this has 5 in the middle and 1 on each side. This has 5 in the middle and 4 on each side. So this ends up being a 7. This ends up being a 9. I am mixed race. I'm mixed race. My dad is English, was English, white man, blonde hair, blue eyes. My mum is Mauritian. She is mixed. She has a variety of races in her. Or colours or blood in her. She has African, black African. She has Indian and she has Chinese. So I have white, Chinese, Indian and black within me. So I refer to myself as a rainbow. That was why I loved your name, Flower Beauty Peacock Rainbow, because I do consider myself to be a rainbow. I have no obligation to... I grew up in the UK, but I do not consider, I consider myself British. I hold a British passport. I do not consider myself English. I do not consider myself anything other than a rainbow. Yeah, I'm not into all of that. It just takes us away from being human. It takes us away from being energy that's here. It takes us away from having connections with people different to ourselves if we get too stuck in the idea of who we are, especially when some of the people around you of who they are can be racist, and then you get locked into the ideas of other people. And I'm just somebody that loves people, loves exploring. Why should we be limited? There's so many different people out there, so many different colours, races, ideas, cultures, beliefs, food. I love food. So it's always part of the conversation. So there's so many different things for us to explore. And when we keep ourselves with the people that we know or who we are, then it means that we're very limited in our world. And I don't like limitations. I like exploration. I'm like Dora the Explorer. All right, so Rainbow Flower, I may come to you. I know that I did a reading for you recently. I recognize your name very clearly. So I know I did a reading for you recently. I may come to you. I may not, though, because I know I did one for you recently. And generally, I don't come to the same person over and over and over again in short periods of time. Because whatever I mentioned to you last time, there will still be work to do there. There will still be work to do there, because we don't just change like that. We can have moments that we're working on ourselves, but the actual change process takes slightly longer. So whatever I told you last time will still be relevant today, because it takes a little bit longer than that to change. So I may come to you, but I might not, yeah? So Mauritian are Indians who left many centuries ago. No, Mauritians are not. You have a very interesting way of asking questions, Flower Beauty Peacock Rainbow, because you're making assumptions within a question. It's like an assumption is you telling me something, not asking me something, but you're telling me something with a question mark. It's like you're telling me something and asking me at the same time. It's a very interesting way of speaking. Mauritians are not Indians that left India centuries ago. Some of them are, yes. Some of them are from Africa, some of them are from China. Some of them are white. Mauritius has white, Indian, Chinese, and black. It has the 4 races. The 4 races have been there from the beginning. And it has the 4 races. And I mean, the 4 races are all valid there. So no, the Indians are not most dominant. They may appear like that, but I mean, I do have Indian in me. I won't deny the Indian because it's there. But there's also black. There's also Chinese. Like I said, if you look at my brother, he looks Chinese. So, I mean, we come out however we come out. Like I said, I'm a mixture of a lot of different races. However I come out is how I come out. It doesn't really make a difference how I come out. But it's very, very interesting, your comments. Very interesting. My cousin actually did a DNA test thing. And her dad is my mum's brother. So anything that it came out, she's mixed with Scottish. So anything outside of the Scottish was from my uncle, my first uncle. And the people that we were actually connected to in Africa were the Bantu people, which is really interesting. There were roots from North India, there were roots from South India, and there were roots from China, like I said. So, I mean, I'm all. You can want to put me as one thing. That's your business. That's your choice. I can't take that away from you, but it's not what's making me. So that's however you choose to take it. How exotic. It is. It's nice. Your dad is a good. I don't know. My dad is good. My dad is dead. So, I mean, he is good now. But, I mean, he lived his life. He lived his life the best that he could live his life. No? I could say he wasn't the best dad. But, I mean, he was the best dad to me because I learned a lot of lessons from him. So, we don't always get the best experience from the people that are around us in the way that we would like that experience to be. Sometimes we want more attention, more love, more. But whatever we get is what we're meant to get, my beliefs, what we're meant to get, and what are going to give us the most power within ourselves to move ourselves beyond whatever it is that they showed us in limitation. So he was a good man, but I mean, he did the best that he could do. Hello, Shivri. Shivy. I didn't do a reading. No? I remember your name so clearly. Ah, you must have asked me about someone else. Okay. You must have asked me about someone else. You're not asking about other people. All right, no problem. Renzel, okay, you're going now. Bye-bye, Renzel. You're welcome. I mean, a lot of Mauritius, Mauritius is a very interesting place. It is very dominated by Indians, but it is not just Indian. It isn't. They would like you to think that, but it isn't. There are a lot of black people in Mauritius. They're just hidden. They're hidden from the world because they don't want them to be recognised. They only want the Indians to be shamed, but it's not. My mum is a Creole Mauritian. Creole means mixed, a mixed Mauritian. There's different races within them. Yeah. I'm from the UK. I love how you only have 11 viewers, but you're so nice explaining everything in a sub. Keep the good God work going. Thank you, Owen. Flower, I don't know what you commented. you took that comment away. But I will come to you, Flower, because I mean, I'm going to trust. I know your name. I know that. But I know that I may recognize a name and I didn't actually do a reading. I just spoke with you. So it could be that. And I remember the day that you were on, there were a couple of ladies that you were very chatty. It was a really beautiful day. It was a very flowy conversation and very chatty. And maybe that's what I'm remembering. So thank you for correcting me. And all right, so let's get started with Flower Beauty Peacock Rainbow. Do you have a name other than this, or is that what I should continue to call you? I tried Mauritian food in Paris, and it was just like Indian food. And they told me the ancestors. You're saying the same thing. I get what you're saying, but if the people that you visited in Paris were Indian Mauritians, then their food is going to be Indian, no? I mean, it makes sense, doesn't it? It makes sense. But there's lots of, I don't know how to explain it differently to you. If your exposure to Mauritians has only been Indian Mauritians, your perception of Mauritius will be that Mauritius is an Indian place, that everybody's Indian. If you go to Mauritius, then maybe you'll have a different experience of Mauritius. Maybe. I don't know what your experience will be. But if you're exposed to a lot of Indian Mauritians, which a lot are, then your idea of Mauritius will be that. No? But that's what makes sense. I get it. I get it. I get it. You don't want to give your name out. So what would you prefer me to call you? No, you don't need to apologize. You don't need to apologize. It happens a lot. It's really interesting. Like, there's lots of times, I used to work in a dentist, and there were lots of times that some Mauritians would come in. And I was raised Catholic. The Creoles are Catholic. The Indians are Muslim or Hindu or the Indian religions, but the Creoles are not. They are Catholic. So I was raised Catholic, and the Indian Mauritians would come in, and whatever Indian they are, it was irrelevant, but they would come in and they would, I can look at somebody and say, you're Mauritian. I can see the Mauritian in them because they're different. Although they may look Indian, there's something different about them. Some of them look black, some of them, like I said, but there's something different. It's a bit like the Indians from the West Indies. They do not look like the Indians from India. There's a difference about them. So I'd see these people and be like, are you from Mauritius? And they'd be like, yeah. And we'd have this nice conversation because Mauritius is kind of like a place that, it's a small island. So, and the fact that someone knows it, it's like, wow, someone knows Mauritius. Because it's a place that's always never known. I'm always having to explain where it is. Less so now because it's more popular. But as a child, no one knew Mauritius. So I was always having to explain it. And they'd be like, oh, are you Muslim? And be, no, I'm Catholic. And then it would be like a lot of them would stop talking to me. I found it so interesting. It's like, what's wrong with me being Catholic? But if I'm Catholic, it means I'm a Creole. I'm not an Indian, and I'm not accepted as the Indians. So I'm removed. I'm like part of the black people. I'm a nothingness. That's how I'm perceived by them. I don't agree with any of that, but that's kind of like what they're showing from a lot of the behavior. And Creoles are, they're like, if you're thinking of caste, if a lot of, especially in India, they have caste system, and in Mauritius, I think it's very similar in this caste system. It's like the purer Indian you are, the higher in the caste you are, the higher caste you are. The blacks are at the lower end of the caste. So I assume I'm at the lower end of the caste, but who cares? It makes no difference. Can I speak Arabic? No, but I am interested in learning. All right, so Same name as my ID here. Your name is so long though, Flower, Beauty, Peacock, Rainbow. I can't be saying the 4 names every time I want to say your name. So give me one of them names and I'll use that particular name. So Flower, Beauty, Peacock or Rainbow. If you give me one of them, I'll use that particular name for the reading that I'll do, yeah? Flower Beauty. All right. Yeah, I mean, the caste system is ridiculous. I disagree with all of it. Like I said, I'm somebody from the world. It's like, how can I possibly... I'm part of everybody. I feel like I'm part of everybody. So to kind of be excluded from one or excluded from another, it's never made sense to me. I've never been that person that excluded people because of their race or because of anything to do with things like that. It's never made sense. Never made sense. Yeah. But a lot of people follow this system. They're so involved in this system that they just continue to follow these systems. And hopefully one day it just disappears. There's so many mixed people in the world, more and more and more and more and more, that it just becomes insignificant where we're from. Insignificance. It's like a nice thing to say, oh, yeah, have you been there? Have you been there? But it's kind of insignificant to who you are as a person or what that means about you, because it means nothing about you. It might tell you a little bit about the person's culture, but it doesn't necessarily tell you the person's ideas, because they may not follow that country's ideas or belief system. It's a very interesting thing talking about countries. All right, so... Hey, Cissou, how you doing? Yeah, and like I said, I'm mixed. I was born, like I said, to a white man, and my mum is mixed, although she's considered black. And I've never chosen one or the other either. And people find that really interesting, because a lot of people feel especially if you're if you have black, then it's like you're black. I'm not interested in any of that. No, it doesn't make sense to me. That means that you're completely disregarding the other part of you, which is relevant. So I never understood these types of things. I was always just, I am what I am. Either accept me or don't. It's up to you. It's up to you, because I'm good with being what I am, and that is a person of the world. All right, Flower Beauty. Let's go. Flower Beauty. I don't think I've ever spoken so much about Mauritius or what I am or where I'm from or my blood. I don't think I've ever in my life spoken so much about it. Interesting. Flower Beauty. Flower Beauty. Flower Beauty. Flower Beauty. Flower Beauty. And thank you, Flower Beauty, because you led to me thinking about things that I wouldn't necessarily think about. You had to go, but you came across my stream again. Oh, that's nice, Owen. What is this game? It's not a game. It's energy readings. I do energy readings. I read energy. You'll get an example of it while I'm reading for Flower Beauty, if you're not sure what that means. So, Flower Beauty, may this reading be for the highest good of Flower Beauty. Flower Beauty. May you receive the information you need, Flower Beauty. And may you be open to receiving it. I saw this before I'd even started shuffling. This same card, I saw it. Let me get something else. May this reading be for the highest good of Flower Beauty. May you receive the information you need, and may you be open to receiving it. All right, you got 2 calabash messages and number 8. All right, so Flower Beauty, you got the number 8 of spades. 10. You got the spades are a message around spirit message. It's a spirit message. And the 8 is a message of universally inspired changes. So what this tells me is that there are changes that are happening in your world. The changes are manifestations that are coming for you. Manifestations of things you have asked for, something you've asked for that is going to be put into the physical world for you. I'll give you some ideas of what these things could be. I mean, it could be anything really, because I mean, it depends on what you ask for, right? But the 8 for me is a big manifestation. It's like when you ask for a child, getting married, changing your job, starting your own business, buying a house, studying, traveling, quite big things. So the 8 tells me that you have put a lot of work into manifesting, and that the universe is now ready to give you the manifestation. What I'm feeling from this card is, although there's 8, which is the manifestation in physical world, because there are 10 spades on the card, there's 8 here, 9, 10. Because there are 10 spades on the card, it's making me feel like this manifestation is a desire of yours. It's something that you really want. But I feel like what's going on with you mentally is, but what if this happens? What if that happens? What if they reject me? What if it's a failure? What if it doesn't work? What if it's like a lot of worry around this manifestation? And I mean, it's really interesting because usually this kind of message would be from the 7 leading you to the 8, but the 8 is already here. So it's like this manifestation of yours is on you. It's like, it's all over you, but it's needing you. I want you to think of it like this. I always use the pole because the pole for me makes the most sense in how to move my mind from one place to another. So the 8 is a physical manifestation that you're going to receive. So if you know that something's coming into your world, you can view it as, when is it coming? How is it going to come? Who's going to bring it? Why is it not here yet? Why haven't I received it? Why am I not seeing it? Or you can view it as, oh, it feels so good. I'm so happy this is on its way. Oh, and just the expectation of knowing that it's coming, regardless of when it comes. Yeah? So there's 2 different ways of viewing it. At the moment, I feel that you're viewing it from here, which is the negative end of the stick. This is the manifestation, your stick, and you're viewing it from this negative end of the stick. When you view it from the negative end of the stick, when, how, why, what, who, what it does is it brings your energy to a lower vibrational energy, a lower frequency. When you're at a lower frequency, what you're going to attract towards you is lower frequency things. So this manifestation will come in a lower frequency way. When you're able to get yourself to this higher frequency, then the manifestation will be able to come from the higher frequency, but it relies on you moving yourself from one to the other, from here to here, which means letting go of all of the, but what if this happens? But what if that happens? And how is this going to happen? And how is that going to happen? It's trusting that it's happening. Trusting, there will be signs around you as well. It's like when we ask for something, we are sending out to the universe what we're asking for. And it's trusting that what you're sending out is yours. You have it. The universe is going to give it to you. It's trusting that. But if you don't trust that, yeah, you have anxiety. That's why you have these thoughts. No, you have anxiety because of these thoughts. You don't have an anxiety. That's why you have these thoughts. It's the other way round, Flower Beauty. You have anxiety because you have these thoughts. So it's moving these thoughts, converting these thoughts, then that will stop you from feeling anxious. But the anxiety is a byproduct of you and your thoughts, not the thoughts and not the thoughts first. You have anxiety disorder because of the way you think. Anxiety disorder, I'm not a doctor. I am not a doctor. So I can only speak through my own understanding, okay? So I don't want, it's not like, anxiety disorder, any sickness for me, any sickness, it's like, I don't care what the doctor says. Any sickness for me comes from your mind. It all comes from your mind. So if you are focused constantly on why is this happening? When is this happening? Why is it not working for me? When is it going to work for me? But what if? It means that you're always focused on something you have no control of. You developed it during periods. That's fine. It doesn't really matter when you developed it. The point is that it's there now and you're experiencing it now. So when you're experiencing it, because I mean, we can experience things at all different times. No, something comes up in our life and it triggers something to come out of us. Doesn't mean that it's only that time that we experienced it. I saw the message. It doesn't mean it's the only time that we experienced it, but it's the time that you're now feeling the results of that. So, like I was explaining, when you're in the why is this not happening, but what if this happens, but what if that happens, especially if you're going through menopause, there's a lot of hormones that are being moved around your body. Your body is experiencing a lot of change. When we are experiencing change, this automatically puts us in anxiety because we like to be comfortable. We're creatures of habit. So we like to be comfortable. We want to be in a world that we understand. Hey Louise, when we are, it doesn't matter about menopause or not. It could be anything that triggers something within each of us. It could be anything. But for me, when you are so focused on something, what happens if I'm rejected? What happens if I'm not good enough? What happens if this? What happens if that? And it's all leading to a negative end of the stick towards that manifestation. You will experience anxiety. You will experience confusion. You will experience frustration. You will experience anger. You will experience anything that feels low. It depends on what frequency you're in, but it will bring you to those types of feelings because that's what you're focused on. Your focus is, and once that focus is in us, what happens is the momentum, the law of attraction gets hold of it. And then that's your momentum. You're building on that momentum of, but what if this, what if that, what if, and you're just stuck in that place, but you're not really stuck in that place. You're not. If you're able to stop yourself, it's very difficult to stop. It's like a snowball at the top of a mountain that's going down the mountain, building. How do you stop it? Or a car at the top of a hill going down the hill. How do you stop it? It's extremely difficult to stop it. So it's not going to be like that to just stop these thoughts. But it's not really easy to stop these thoughts, but you can kind of challenge them a bit to change the momentum. So you can't stop it, but what you can do is plant within it, no? So when your mind is telling you, you can't do this, you can't do that, you're not going to get your manifestation, it's never coming from you, and you're in your anxiety, know you're stronger than your anxiety. Know that you are more than your anxiety. And the really interesting thing for me, I'm not really a doctor person. If I have to go to the doctors, I go for a diagnosis. That's it, really. The treatment part of it, I come home and I do it myself, because I find that the reason I'm saying this to you is that when you get a label of something and you can say, but I feel this because of this, and I act like this because of this, it creates this version of yourself that gives you justification for being in this place. And you feel like, okay, I can be in this place because that's what I've been told. And you've put yourself in the box of what you've been told. These are the kind of things I disagree with. Because once you've put yourself in that box, how do you get out of that box? You have to see beyond that box, which means you have to come out of the box to be able to see beyond it. But you can't. It's a struggle to get out of that box if you're so stuck on what the box is labeled as. So at the moment you're seeing a version of yourself, you've got the doctors to tell you that, yes, you suffer from disorder, anxiety disorder. And yes, this has been caused because of your menopause. Okay, I'm not disagreeing with any of that. But what I do disagree with, these labels do not dictate how you behave. They do not dictate who you are becoming, who you are moving towards, unless you decide that they dictate that. I hope this is making sense to you. Yeah, look. You got the fox, self-belief, which is what taking us back to the beginning with the pole. You have the, but what if I'm rejected? But what if it doesn't work? But what if I can't receive it? What if I'm not deserving? What if I'm not good enough? What if you are good enough? What if you're amazing and you deserve everything that you get? What if the world just opens up for you and so many possibilities get put in front of you and you have all these doors to open that just feel so amazing as you walk through them? What if? But if you're only on the what ifs in negative, you'll stay in the what ifs in negative. There has to be some switch of energy. And that switch of energy will come when you put that little bit of belief in yourself that this is not how life has to look permanently. This is but a moment in your life, and it does not need to look like this forever and a day. It doesn't, unless you decide it does. So you are stronger than your anxiety. You are stronger than your beliefs. But at the moment, your mindset is in the place of it's stronger than you. Your mindset is never going to be stronger than you. You believe it at this moment, but it's never going to be stronger than you. You are stronger than it. You're just allowing it to dictate to you what it believes, and you're staying in the process of what it believes. But what it believes is not truth. It's what you've allowed to accept as truth, but it isn't truth. And I've spoken about the pole so often. From the beginning, I went straight to the pole. We have the number 6, all about the pole. The number 6 is about planting seeds. So, like I said, you've worked from this place of limitations. It's not working for me, this place of a box. And the number 6 is about working from a place that's expansive, working from a place that is nurturing to the things that you want, nurturing to your thoughts, nurturing to yourself. When you hear something to yourself, you're not good enough, use that to empower yourself. Yes, you can hear you're not good enough, and part of you may believe that. Doesn't make it a truth. You know what? Oh, I'm so happy that you told me I'm not good enough, because you know what? I know I'm amazing. I know I'm great. I know I've got this. I know I can do this, and I know I am stronger than anything that is put in front of me, because I know my power. I know what I am capable of. I know I am determined. I know I have this with everything that I have. I know it. And move yourself, expand yourself, allow yourself to grow and nurture yourself as you grow. Shine light on yourself, because that's what a seed needs to grow. It needs the light shining on it. In anxiety, there is no light shining on that seed. It's just going to remain there, dormant, until light does shine on the seed. So shine the light on the seed and allow that seed to grow and receive this manifestation that's coming for you. Because this is a manifestation, and manifestations are beautiful. When we receive a manifestation in high vibration, it's like, whoa, it feels so good. When we receive it in low vibration, it doesn't feel good. Doesn't feel good. And I feel like you've been in this place for a little while, so you've got used to being in this place. You've got used to the mindset that you have. You've got used to thinking in the way that you thought. You've got used to the emotions that you're feeling. And that makes sense, because that's what happens. As humans, we get into habit, we get into routine, and however we feel is how we feel. That's not truth. It's not truth. However you're feeling has been your truth, because it's been what you're focused on. But whatever you focus on grows. So change that focus. That snowball at the top of the hill, put focus into that of something that you really love, and allow that momentum of that to take over, rather than this one where you've been before. New ones, and allow them to grow for you. All the amazingness that could happen in your world, because they're possible if you're willing to believe that they're possible. Make sense? So your next few months, you've got work. You have work to do, because you've got this manifestation to receive. And it relies on you being able to receive it in a positive way, in a higher frequency, relies on you getting yourself to that higher frequency. So how do you do that? Keep using the pole. Keep using it. When you are in your negative, when you are in your box, limitations, it's not working, I can't have that, it's never going to happen. Ooh, thank you for letting me know where I am. Thank you for telling me that, because now I know what I need to work on. Because as long as you're hearing the negatives, you know the opposite. You know what you need to work on here, because you're hearing here. It highlights what your belief is for yourself. It really highlights it. So you know that, okay, I need to nurture this. I need to nurture that. I'm not good enough to be able to receive that. Okay, let me nurture some love towards self. I'm not confident enough in receiving that or doing that. Oh, okay, let me nurture self in confidence, and keep learning from this part of you that wants to beat you down, because it will want to beat you down, and it's so used to doing that that's its job. But use it to your advantage. Use it to empower you, not to deflate you and to kind of squash you. Do you get me? Can I do that laugh again? You're funny, gaming zone. You come here to mess around with me as well. You guys that come here to mess around with me, you're so funny. You give me jokes. All right, so Flower Beauty, that is like well empowered. Lewis, this was for Flower Beauty, not you, but you seem to really resonate with it, which is really beautiful. But Flower Beauty, you've got this, you've got this. Don't limit yourself. Stop limiting yourself. Not don't. Stop. Stop in the name of love. Something that I did with my kids. There's a certain time that, or especially when I'm around the time of the month, I'll say it like that. So around the time of the month, I'm moody. I'm moody. It's just part of the hormones that are going on, and I have to deal with it. But sometimes it's like I'm feeling a bit moody. I haven't given myself the space I need. So my kids will come around me, and it's like, ah, and I've become the monster. So I told them, well, we came up with this. We devised a plan for it. So what they do is they tell me, stop in the name of love, so that they can kind of click me out of that moment of where I am, so that I'm able to get into a more, I'm able to just stop for that moment. And when we stop for that moment, we're able to see ourselves better. We're able to, instead of reacting, we're able to respond. So it just brings that amount of seconds for me to move to a different place. And that might be something that helps you, Flower Beauty. When you're hearing this side, if you're not able to acknowledge what it's telling you in a loving way, sing to yourself, stop in the name of love, and allow that to kind of knock you out of that momentum of where you were going before you go too far into that momentum. Because once you're in the momentum, it's difficult to stop it, like I said. So before you get into the momentum, do something like that, something to knock yourself out of that so you can bring yourself back here, and just keep doing that. Just keep doing that for yourself. And it does take practice. It does take time to move from one place to the other and become good at it. But the more you do it, the better you will feel. Another thing about you, Flower Beauty, all of you, this is to everybody. When you don't feel good, actually, don't even allow yourself to not feel good. Shoulders back, head up. Trust in yourself. When you're like this, it feels heavy. Everything feels heavy. It's like if a salesman comes to the door and is there like this, are you going to buy from him? You're not going to buy from him. If he's there like this, you're more likely to buy from them, because there's a confidence, there's this aura around them that exudes confidence, and you have more trust in this person, more confidence, more faith in this person to do what they're saying they're going to do. When we are like this, it's kind of like, I wouldn't trust you with anything. I don't even, if I'm like that, I wouldn't trust myself with anything. So the way that we carry ourselves plays a big part in how we move beyond ourselves. So remind yourself of these little things that help you, that will help you to keep bringing yourself back, or stopping that momentum from even starting, and bringing yourself back to a place of nurture. For you, it's nurture. At this moment, it's nurturing yourself to be able to get to that higher vibration. But keep nurturing, shining that light. Shine your lights. Hey, Charlie. Where are you guys from? Where are you? Where are you in the world? I am here to do readings, so if you would like a reading, please feel free to comment. Flower Beauty, you're very, 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 very welcome, yeah? Very, very welcome. Very beautiful. Yeah, very insightful. Even for me as well, speaking to you, because I'm hearing myself and it's like, ooh. You're in India, okay. That was why you were going, okay, all right. Lewis, where's that? You took it away. It's in Texas. Texas. All right, I know where that one is. I get it now. Flower Beauty. I get it now. It makes more sense knowing that you're Indian. Well, that's an assumption on my part, eh? I got a question from you above. All right, Cecile, let's see what we have from you above. If you have time, I'd like an indication what's going on physically for me at the moment. As I mentioned earlier, that for me, thank you for drawing me back to your question, Cecile. I did see your question. It got lost. Thank you for bringing me back to it. Everything for me about the physical body is a mental thing. So if your body is struggling physically at the moment, it's because there's something that's troubling you mentally at the moment, or emotionally at the moment, because emotionally is just as effective as mentally. They're so connected that if something's affecting you emotionally, it will affect your thoughts. If something's affecting your thoughts, it will affect your emotions. So they're both kind of they're working together very forcefully. So you just fail to see what you have to work on. All right, let's see. Let's uncover it. Give me homework. I'm going to give you some homework. I am going to give you some homework, Cecile. All right. All right, let's see what's going on in your world. Let's see. All right, Cecile. Oh, Cecilia, you've got someone with you. Oh, God. Oh, 1 minute. Oh, Cecilia, you have someone with you. It's very strong. The feeling is so strong. This is somebody that passed from a terminal illness. No, there's no bad. I don't deal with bad. There's no bad. It's just the way it's feeling in my body is just a difficult experience for me. But it's not bad. There's somebody that has been in your life that passed. This person, for somebody to come through for you, they don't actually have to be that close to you, but it will be somebody likely that you have cared about. This person passed from a terminal illness, and I feel that they had a lot of treatment for this terminal illness. A lot of treatment. I'm still reacting to it. This breathing, I feel that it could have been lung cancer, because it's like I keep doing that. So I feel like it has something to do with the lungs. If it's not lung cancer, then it could be COPD, CODP. I'm not sure which way round it goes. I always forget the way that it's written, but it's also to do with the lungs and breathing. But there's definitely someone around you. It's never somebody that is there to hurt you. It's somebody that is helping you at this moment. And I'm simply feeling that they're sharing this experience with me for me to be able to share with you, to make it easier to understand who they are. I don't know that you know who they are, but yeah, it's a very strong energy. It's definitely a very loving energy, a very forceful energy, a very strong energy, very dominant. They would have been in life. Loud, maybe, because of the way that I'm feeling it. They were not scared to speak their truths, not scared to say what they thought, not scared to be different to other people. Wow, let me drink some water. I'm just bringing my energy back to my own energy, because that was enough already. It was enough. All right, Cecile, let's see what the message is. You have an idea, but it is weird. Okay, you can you can share this to me later. Cecile, may this reading. Oh, I've got something going on here as well. Oh, they've got all these body things for you, Cecile. There's something going on with my cheek. It's like ba-bum, ba-bum, ba-bum. Cecile, do you have a toothache? Have you had a toothache recently? May this reading be for the highest good of Cecile. May you receive the information you need. And may you be open to receiving it. Cecile. You haven't. What can I... my mind took me somewhere. Because I felt it quite high, actually. It wasn't really here. It was quite high. Buxism, maybe. Your grinder. All right. That works. You grind your teeth, no? Or you clench them. That works. Because I felt it quite high. Like my tooth is here. If I press here, I can feel my teeth. But the pain was more here. But the roots of my teeth are here. They're not here. The roots of my teeth are higher. So that makes a lot of sense, because when you're a buxist, you're putting a lot of pressure. There's somebody at the door. I have to go and answer the door. There's a package. Guys, I'm so sorry. Please, give me a minute. I'm so sorry. Oh, sorry about that. Oh, what a palaver. Alright, buxist. So, when you're a buxist, you have a tendency to either grind your teeth or to clench your teeth. And that affects higher. You might be somebody that experiences headaches because of it. A really good tool for a buxist is to get a mouth guard. I don't know if you have one already, Cecile, but a mouth guard is a really good idea for a buxist, because the mouth guard is just one, like top or bottom, whatever one they make for you. But the mouth guard takes the impact of the pressure that you're putting on your teeth, rather than your teeth getting the pressure and it then expanding to your head. You do. All right. So make sure you use it. So, but that buxism thing as well is about stress. It's about stress. So let's see what your cards are saying. So we have a jack here, a jack of clubs. A jack of clubs is a message around personal growth. So this is your homework. And a jack is a message of know your worth. So it tells me that you are somebody, you're a very beautiful person. The jack for me is just, it's the giver, it's the like kind person. Impossible without your real big grinder. Yeah, and when you tell yourself that you're a real big grinder, you're recreating this more and more and more and more and more within yourself. So be careful of what you say about yourself, yeah? That's another homework. Be careful of how you phrase things. because it does make a difference. I'm a real big grinder means that you've accepted this as part of being who you are and that it's part of your life, but it doesn't mean it's always going to be part of your life. So be aware of the affirmations that you're saying, because that is an affirmation. I'm a real big grinder. You don't want to affirm that you're a real big grinder because you don't want it to be like that. You want it to be a different way. So yeah. So the Jack is the Jack is the giver. The Jack has the biggest heart. It's a beautiful person that is coming from a place that was criticized heavily over praise. So what happens with somebody that's been criticized heavily over praise is that they grow up and the inner bully inside of them becomes really dominant, because, well, I know for myself that what happened was the people that are criticizing, it's like, well, nobody's ever going to make me feel as bad about myself as I do about myself. Nobody's ever going to make me feel like that again. If anybody's going to make me feel bad, it will be me. Nobody can do that to me. So it's like you become your own inner bully. And in your mind, your inner bully is very active. It speaks a lot and tells you all the things you can't do and all the reasons why you can't do things. And you might not necessarily hear things, but it will definitely play a part in your actions and what you're able to move towards, or what you feel you're worthy of, what you're deserving of, because that is the Jack, know your worth. The beautiful thing about the Jack is that because the Jack was very criticized and was led to believe, especially by its own mind, that it's not good enough and it isn't worthy, the Jack is a light worker, and its mission in this world is to promote people, to encourage people, to be a cheerleader to other people, so they never feel like you felt. They will always feel empowered, encouraged, inspired, loved, worthy, deserving. People will always feel special around you because you will always do your best to make them feel special, because you know what it feels like to not feel special. So you do that for people, and that's just part of who you are with this beautiful heart. The other thing about the Jack is that the Jack is an extremely giving person. Like I said, you're the one that gives all the compassion, the cheerleading. You give all of this very freely and easily because you want people to know their worth. You want them to know how important they are in the world. But the Jack doesn't know how to receive. It doesn't know its worth, and it doesn't feel worthy, and it doesn't feel deserving. So if somebody said to you, "Oh, Cecile, you're looking very beautiful today," you might be like, you might say, "Only today?" Kind of discarding it. Or you might say, "Oh, you too," because you have to give it back rather than just being able to receive. It's that type of thing. It's like not being able to, if someone wants to give you something, you're more likely to say, no, it's okay. I'm good. You keep it. I'm good. Rather than being able to receive. Something that I've done with myself for the Jack, it's taken a lot of work, the Jack, for myself, because I'm coming from the Jack. So some of the things that I've taught myself through it. Number one, promote yourself. The same love that you give to other people, start giving to yourself, because you are worthy of it and you are deserving of it. And the only way that you're ever going to believe that is if you give it to yourself. Because if you're not giving it to yourself, it doesn't matter how many people you have around you that tell you how amazing you are, you will not believe them. It requires you to move beyond your own thoughts about self so that you start believing yourself. So one of the ways, it describes many. one of the ways that I've helped myself with the Jack, one of them is listening to an audio that I actually created. It's on my channel. I will put it with this live, so if you ever want to listen to it, it will be there. I'll do that when we finish here. But it's an audio. It's basically you put your hands in the different areas and it gives affirmations towards these different areas to help to start shining light into these different areas of yourself, because it moves through the different chakras. It moves through different ideas, self-beliefs about self. And it's giving you something that you're not used to experiencing, because it would be giving you the encouragement that you're not used to receiving. So you may find it quite uncomfortable at the beginning to listen to, because you're not used to hearing good things about yourself or promoting yourself. So you may find it uncomfortable, but it will definitely be beneficial. When I first started listening to the audio, I created it for myself. And even though I created it for myself, I still struggled with it. After about 4 days of using it, I used it in the morning and the evening. Because when we're in our sleepy state, when we've just woken up and when we're going to sleep, we're in a sleepy state. And that's when we're most receptive to kind of rewiring our brains, to changing the beliefs that we have. It's when they're kind of at their weakest. So it's a really good time to listen to whatever it is that you're working on, listening to something to change your mindset. So when I first started listening to it, after about 4 days, I was getting really angry. I was listening to it and I was like, what the hell is going on here? I was so mad. So I had to stop it for a moment and sit with myself. What is going on? And talk to myself. What is happening here? And what I realized was, it was kind of, there's lots of different parts of us. I think of us as all having multiple personalities. I know it's like a sickness that people can have, multiple personalities, but I believe we all have multiple personalities. Not necessarily that it's like a different accent and you dress a different way and it's to that degree, no. But we have different characters within inside of ourselves. You're at work, you act a certain way. You're at home, you act a different way. You're with your kids, you act a different way. You're with your parents, you act a different way. There's all these different versions of self. So what I found was, when I was saying I am, all of me was not agreeing with this I am. It did not like it at all. So I changed it to we are. So it was like inclusive of all. That I wasn't speaking to only one part of myself. I was speaking to all of self. And I was able to continue and I did 30 days, I did it. And I was able to continue for the 30 days. And it did make a lot of difference to my world. So that's something. But even without that audio, just you doing it for yourself, just you speaking kindly to self will help. The other thing that I did, which was kind of like switched my ideal around receiving, which is, you know, when you give, because you are the giver, so there will be this feeling that you have when you give, that it just feels like one of the most beautiful things to you to give someone something. You really get a lot of joy from that. So I want you to think of it like this. You get a lot of joy from giving. But when somebody wants to give to you, you don't get a lot of joy from. You're resistant towards that. So I want you to think of how you feel when you give. That feeling feels really good. And what you're doing when you're stopping somebody else from giving towards you is stopping them from experiencing that same joy that you experience when you give. You're stopping that. You're not allowing them to experience that joy. You're not allowing them to experience that beautifulness of sharing and giving and caring. You're not allowing that because you're resistant towards receiving. So in the process of you receiving something, remember that you are allowing somebody to you're allowing somebody into your world, that you're allowing them to feel this amazingness simply because you decided to receive from them. Yeah, that really helped me. All right, and you're definitely a light worker, Cecile. We have the 9 here, and the 9 is coming with the king. There are 13 diamonds on this card. Whoa. All right. So this is like a deep message, yeah? So the 9 is a message of come on in out of the rain. It's when you've got somebody that's experienced a lot of pain. Yep, we're serious, Devante. We are serious. They're divinely given to me as well for you. The 9 is a message of coming in out of the rain. It's when you have an emotional baggage, an emotional trauma bag on your back, which is where your jack is coming from as well. But the 9 is more about, the jack is about the criticism over praise. The 9 is more about you've been lied to, you've been cheated on, you've been hurt by a lot of people. Loyalty has not been a big thing around you. Commitment hasn't been a big thing. Dishonesty has been a big thing. You've had people like that around you. And when you've had people like that around you, the expectation is that as you're meeting people with this rucksack on your back, the expectation is that they will also do the same as what you've experienced before. And as long as you walk forward with this rucksack on your back, it's very difficult to have relationships because they kind of become a tug of war relationship as long as you have the rucksack. Because everything that you're looking at the person through is through this trauma, is through you're going to hurt me, you're going to cheat on me, you're going to lie to me, you're going to hurt me. And you don't want to be hurt. So at them moments, you'll withdraw yourself because you don't want to be hurt. But then you want to be loved, so you go back. But you don't want to be hurt, so you withdraw. So it's this tug of war of you not wanting to be hurt, but you wanting to love. And this is coming with the king because there are 13 diamonds on here, and it is diamonds. So what this is showing me is that around career and finance, on top of the self-belief of you feeling your worth and deserving enough, you also have this trauma bag and you have the king. The king is somebody that doesn't necessarily trust their intuition because it can be really simple ways that you stop trusting your intuition. And I'll give you a couple of examples. Let's say you're really young and you say to your mum one day, Mum, you feel really sad. Are you okay? And your mum says, of course I'm okay. I'm great. There's no worry. I've got you. How can anything be wrong? And dismisses how you feel. That simple act, and I mean, it happens a lot. You might be at work and you say to someone, how are you feeling? And they say, yeah, I'm all right. But you feel they're not all right. But when somebody's lying about how they feel, you believe them over what you're feeling. That removes you from trusting your own intuition because you're trusting what other people are telling you rather than what you're feeling. So that's the king. The king is also a light worker. So the 2 cards that you have here are light workers, Jack and King. I know it's a 9, but with the 13 diamonds on the card, it's also a king. So this is telling me that you are brought here to be a giver and to share your gift. Whatever that gift is going to bring you financial success. It's going to bring you financial stability. With the 9, it will open a lot of doors for you to abundance, to opportunities all around you. But there's some work. There has to be work done on the belief system of self to be able to trust that this is happening for you, not to you. People are not going to come and take away what you're working on because you can't trust them. You have to trust that there are good people in the world and there will be good people coming towards you to help you on your journey. to bring beautiful things to you on your journey. And the king is about you sharing your wisdom. The message for the king is inner wisdom. So it tells me that you have a lot of wisdom, but it's about you sharing that wisdom. So there's things that you have been taught in all the lifetimes you've had. This is not your first lifetime. You've been here many times and you've learned many lessons in these lifetimes. Through these lessons, you have a lot of wisdom. And it's about you sharing this wisdom with the world, sharing it, giving it. That is what is going to create your abundance. But if you don't feel that your intuition is good enough and you don't feel people will feel that what you are saying is relevant or that what you're sharing doesn't make sense to them or that you're not deserving of anything for what you share, then how do you get this financial abundance? That will always be struggling. It will always be struggling, but it's here. So it means that you have it already. It's just your limiting beliefs that are actually stopping you from receiving it because you're not open to receive yet. It's working on this belief system that will help you to receive your financial abundance, your worthiness, your feeling of deserving, feeling of opportunities are coming for you and they are all around you, and trusting in these opportunities, trusting in yourself as you walk forward, trusting in your intuition as you walk forward and your wisdom that whoever needs to hear it will. And I'll give you an example because you can see at this moment there's 2 people on my screen, but I'm here. It's 2 people with nothing. No, it's like, why am I wasting my time? But I'm not wasting my time. I'm here talking to whoever is ready to listen, whether there's someone here or not. I'll still be here talking because that's what I'm here for. I'm here to share, the same as you. So it doesn't matter who's there or who you believe is there listening to you. Trust that what you have to say is important and valid and needed in people's lives, because it is. All right? So there. All right, Cecile, that was really beautiful. This is really deep. It's very empowered, very, very, very empowered. Because it's light worker, Jack and King. It's light worker. You're a light worker. You have come here on a mission to share light, to help people out of the dark, to shine your light so that they have guidance towards the light. And it's just doing that, doing your job, doing what you were sent here to do, without fear of what other people think about that. Yeah? So I can see it made sense. And I'm happy that it made sense and it resonates. And I don't know how well it will be relevant to your physical health, because like I said, that's all coming from mind. So yeah, really beautiful, Cecile. Great stuff. Great stuff. All right, so I am off now. I will be back today's Friday. No, yeah, I'll be back on Monday with some more free live readings. If you would like a private reading, please feel free to contact me privately and I will get back to you. And any contact information is on the channel that you can find. There are some things on the channel as well. I will post the link to the chakra meditation, it's called, I think. Chakra healing meditation. Something like that is called. I will post it on the link though. And there are a few other things in the links. There's a book based on the cards. The book is my understanding of the cards, my original understanding of the cards. It's in a very basic way of when I first got the understanding of how to read these cards, where the messages were coming from. And it's like I said, it's in a very basic way, but it shows each number. It shows the story, the lessons, and the tools that I learned to overcome each number. So I'm still learning now, but it's like I said, it's a very basic version, but that very basic version brings you to the point of actually being able to read the cards in a very basic way, even if it's for yourself, to be able to help yourself on a daily basis, pull a card, see what it says, and that's what you work on for that day or that week. It was designed to help in that type of way, because we do need help. We all need help. And the more we can put that help into ourselves, especially with things that are internal, because the internal is what affects the outside world, it's beneficial. They're both on YouTube, so please, if you're interested, take a look. Otherwise, I will see you on Monday. Hey, Fly High. Yep, I remember you. I remember you. I'm off now. I will be back on Monday. Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays. Take care, guys. Have a beautiful weekend. Beautiful Friday. Yay. Saturday, Sunday. What? Take care, guys. Bye.